Hi, welcome to Boring Money, Rich Life. I'm Joy Hicks, and this is our first episode, so I'm actually really excited. I do have to say, 2024 was kind of chaotic. 2025 is feeling very much chaos 2.0. So I feel like that's why I kind of wanted to start this podcast because I just feel like now's the time to get your money together. Like, just with everything going on in the world. So, for instance, we have this new president, whether you liked him or not, but we have him. He's getting rid of DEI. Government workers are no longer remote. What else? We have mass deportation, like all these things just happening. We have, um, yeah, just all these different things are going on right now. So, I just feel like I don't want to be fearful or angry or whatever over the next 4 years. I'm just going to dedicate these next 4 years to getting my money right. So that is really why I started this podcast. I have a pretty decent concept of money, and I feel like there's a lot of people like me. So maybe, you're budgeting well, maybe your credit is together, but now's the time to kind of focus on like building wealth because I am a firm believer that I'm going to be rich one day. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I definitely think at some point I'm going to be rich and I want to be rich, but obviously that takes action. So now is kind of the time where I feel like it's going to be very important to actually start putting actions behind what we want and just kind of focusing on our finances. So I think the biggest thing about Trump getting in office right now is, again, not necessarily to be angry or upset, but he has said he's going to make some changes. So I'm like, how can we all benefit from this, right? Because we all deserve to be financially set at the end of this term. So the way I look at it, we have 4 years to kind of get it together. So I am not a financial advisor. So this is kind of just like a conversation starter type of podcast. Please actually like seek financial advice from a legal financial advisor, but come to me to kind of just break down these boring topics together. And we're going to go on this journey of just learning because, like I said, I feel like I'm pretty decent with like budgeting and credit. And I just bought a house last year on my own. So I feel like I understand money, but like I said, there's a lot that I can learn so I can become more financially literate. So if you're like me, let's go on this journey together. Like, let's learn all the different topics. Um, because I think money can be kind of boring. Like, to be honest, who wants to talk about life insurance? Who wants to talk about, I don't even know, like REITs and all these different things. But no, we're going to focus over these next 4 years. And I'm going to break down some of those topics to kind of make them a little bit more interesting. And I'm learning for myself. This is truly a podcast for me so that I can understand all these different things a little bit better. All right, so let's hop into it. So, for this first episode, I kind of just wanted to talk about like 2025 goals. And yes, it is almost February, but still, we're about to talk about goals because I feel like when you think about goals, it shouldn't just be what can I do for this year? It's like, what can I do now that's going to benefit me 10 years down the road? Whenever I think of like a big goal that I want to accomplish, I'm always trying to figure out where I'll be later on in life. Like I said, my goal is to get rich. So that's kind of where I want to be later in life. So, what boring money, rich life means to me is just, again, we got to break down all these things that we really don't feel like talking about all the time. Sometimes we're not even invited into these conversations, but just becoming more financially literate so that way we can start fueling our rich life. So I'll say my first goal for this year, I think I definitely need to read more finance books. Like, I'll start and then I'll kind of stop, but I need to get very serious about like reading books. And as I read them, or if I come across like good articles and things like that, I'll definitely share it with you guys So that way you can have the information as well. So that's my first goal. My second goal for 2025 is definitely to get back into investing. So I don't even know when. I think one day, like a few years back, I just Googled, I was like, what are good stocks to invest in right now? And surprisingly, I read an article about Nvidia. I had no idea what Nvidia was at the time, but I actually did buy some stock in it. Again, this is not financial advice. This is what I did for myself. But at the time, I did buy some Nvidia stock, just a little bit, and I bought a couple other things. But as I was watching just like the progress of my stocks, Nvidia was the only one that was doing well. And then it wasn't until like 2024 that they kind of did this big hit and things like that, that a lot of people started talking about them, to my knowledge. So, yeah, it's very surprising like how much information you can find online when you're actually searching for it. One thing that I did do this year, I did actually reach out to a financial advisor myself. So I'm working on my own financial plan. Like I said, I bought a house this year. So I'm like, my next thing I need to work on is getting a will, getting a trust set up. And this is something I've been putting off for the longest because I just feel like, will, it means death and all these things. But I think we really have to reframe it. Obviously, we want our family to be good. We want them to be set up for life if something was to happen to us. So for me, that is high on my list of priorities right now, is just getting my estate planning together. So I have like life insurances and things like that that obviously I need to look at as well. And then number four, I would say that my goal, ugh, has been an on and off again thing with me. I've always said that I wanted to get my real estate license. This might be the year. Definitely my top three goals are a must do. I am trying to see where I want to live. Like, although I did buy this house, I bought it as a future investment. So I don't plan on living here forever. So I'm trying to debate if this is the year that I will get my real estate license. If I do decide to, I will definitely, keep you guys updated if that's something that you're interested in as well. And I'll just bring you along on that journey with me also if I do decide to do it. So that's like a three and a possible. So those are my 2025 goals. I think it's really, really important for us to kind of start reframing our mindset. And my question to you is, what boring things can you do today to start fueling your rich life? So that's going to really kind of be the focus of this podcast. Like, let's really start diving into these different money topics. Let's start reframing our mindset, reading the books, so that way at the end of this, we'll be well on our way. All right. Thank you for watching.